This next match is a Wesker match coming to us from Bubblez, who has only around 600 hours in the game. So only about halfway to that adept zone of 1,000 hours where you generally know how to play the game fairly well. So there's probably some stuff you're still learning, so I'm not going to be as harsh on you when it comes to some mistakes because you're probably still figuring a lot of those out. Nostromo is, I have found to be kind of somewhere in the middle. It's mostly errors on the side of being challenging from a survivor, from a killer's perspective. But yeah, it's just kind of like, it's a moderately big map. All the resources are kind of closely knit together besides like a couple areas. It's just kind of like, it's not too nice on killer, especially with somebody like Wesker who has a little bit of collision sensitivity issues. Nostromo infamously does not have the best collision out of their more recent maps. There are a lot of like weird areas that aren't the most helpful though. So it's not necessarily just like super survivor sided, but it does kind of err in the survivor's end. So let's take a look at add-ons of your perks, which is funny because with Wesker, most of his add-ons are good. So the add-on conversation is pretty easy and straightforward. Yeah, like, like, I don't know. I can't tell, like, basically, besides like maybe Walkie, maybe like, I can't really tell a Wesker they're ever running the wrong add-ons because Behavior really knocked it out of the park with his add-on design. Like, basically any choice is the right choice with Wesker add-ons. So it makes my job very, very easy on the match reviews. Your build is, I would say, besides not being fully leveled up on that No Way Out, perfect. I mean, like, you have an info perk, you have an anti-chase perk, you have a slowdown perk, and you have a non-slowdown that's very, very helpful. Like, this is just a very, very well-rounded and very well picked build. So yeah. For reference, it is faster to double dash than just walk straight forward as Wesker. So it is worth it to do that. Find somebody right away. Good, good. They are hiding from me though, unfortunately. Oh, there they are. Yeah, you catch them kind of like trying to mind game you. Good job using your ears. Using your ear holes. 2 long wall, short walls. Not a very strong spawn for the survivors, actually. That's very not good for them on that side of the map. Once you start, like, forcing those down, it's going to be very, very rough for them, because that side of the map is not very strong. She's just W-king into nothing. You kind of mind game yourself a little too much there. That was a quick gen. That is not your fault. That was extremely quick. That was probably 2 people. Or some assembly of perks. Oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to like skinny burp past that. That's not your bad. Yeah, you kind of realize that you've spent a lot of time in this chase, so you're just leaving. Not the worst idea in the world, but you kind of don't know where anybody else is, so it's kind of a risk. Okay, you do find somebody else. You gotta, I don't think you've had like a poor start necessarily. You just had like a kind of like an okay-ish start. Ooh, that was Pocos, but we take this. Live, life, love. There was definitely some scenarios or some points there where I would have maybe tried to hit Kate with my power. Are you just leaving? Okay, now you're kind of like leaving chase a little too willy-nilly. Oh my gosh, she should have thrown. Oh, she did throw it. She just got screwed. Okay. That's. I would be mad. I would not be happy if I was her.
Just start.
Well, you know where they are. And you know that that gen over there is nearly finished. I would go kick that with your up. Yeah. Because she's basically in like that corner of the map. She kind of can't go too far. If she leaves that tile, she only has like that really weak shack to deal with. So I would just, yeah, or she runs up here. Either way, you can catch up to her here. She's just edge mapping, which is not very helpful. She makes this long wall short wall? That's crazy. I liked the idea there, but like, It's usually you do that mind game with like path tiles because they're way shorter. I don't know how well that actually works with long wall, short walls. This is what I'm talking about with the survivor side in this. This is initially supposed to be only a path tile, right? This is only supposed to be a path palette, which is on its own is not very strong, not very much in the favor of the survivor. But there's just like this window vault, just like over here to the side. So even though it's only supposed to be like, it's only supposed to be a path palette, now it's essentially like a very roughshod jungle gym for like no reason. Which is rough. We just spammed a window that is already very short on both sides. The fact that she didn't throw that is wild. All's a steal. Good job taking the free hit. I'd pop that. This is one of those matches where seeing the endgame screen is going to be really important to me. Because that first gen popped so quickly. That first gen popped it very fast. She's saving her reverse for trying to. You could have hit her there. You hesitated. You could have hit her there. She was within lunge distance. She wouldn't have made that pallet. And when they're being as fast on the gens there, that's going to cost you. What's that? Whoa. Well, I don't know what that was, but it worked. Whatever. What do I know? Good awareness. No, they had beamers, so you could have hit her there again. Yeah, good thing she'd end up throwing the pallet. You're hesitating a lot of your lunges for some reason. There's a lot of hits left on the table, or hits that would be earned quicker if you just swung. Probably get more acquainted with your lunge range, because it's more forgiving than you think. Luckily, Pop is really hard carrying here. A lot of these gens were nearly done a second ago, which would be end of the game because it's 2 gens left. Yeah, I would pull out my power here. Why do you tailgate so much before you use your power? Yeah, why are you not using your power more? Because this is like you're missing so much of your base kit when you don't go for the Ouroboros infection, because then they have to go get a spray, and then they have to spray, and if you want to tunnel somebody, that's free info on where they're at. Like, you get so much pressure off of infecting somebody, but you're choosing to just like mostly M1, which is, you're just 115 mana with knife at that point with a slight movement ability. You should definitely be going for M2s way more. You definitely could have had one there on him multiple times during that chase. You have built-in slowdown, and you should be utilizing it, but you're not. At least you got 4 seconds on the way out. I would challenge that hook. You're up that person. Force that injured Kate to come deal with it. You have Bam. Just go through that window. You literally have Bamboozle. Just go through the window and cut it off. She should not have been able to vault there. You literally have the anti-window perk. Why is that person giving up? You need M2 more. A lot of these chases could have been way short if you actually used your power. You're just kind of like playing it as an M1 killer with movement. That's not what Wesker is. Yeah, do more of... And then you hesitate too much when you actually do. You got robbed. That's not your fault. You should have hit her. You should go down here.
Too bad you won't make it much further.
Too bad you won't make it much further.
I'll see you dead.
I'll cancel you on Twitter. Yeah, okay, whatever, bud. I'm down. Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. Good awareness that this gem's being worked on. Unfortunately, you couldn't get there in time. Hey, Jane. Good to see you, friend. Alright. Like watching it only not pick up the blood? Yeah, kinda. You're basically leaving so much of your kit on the table. Yeah, you're kind of playing him just like an M1 killer with a movement ability. You need to not. Ooh. That's unfortunate. She didn't use it the last chase, so nobody could have known. Not on you. See, there you go. You shut down that window. You brought the perk. Get some value out of it.
Poor performance indeed.
Poor country music indeed, which is all of them. It's fuck country music. Besides Rascal Flats, we stand Rascal Flats. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. Yeah, facing that wall, you should be fine. So it's a flashbang. Give me the water. Joke was very funny. I don't feel like anybody who says that joke was very funny means it. That joke was very funny. It's like the meme we were just talking about that fucking Zeno put in the Discord. That joke was very funny. Immediately on the door. That's rough. How fast his camera moves? Maybe. Maybe. Possibly. I don't want to chop that up as a reason that they lost the match, but it may be affecting things, yeah. Honestly, I would just kill her. Salvage a kill at least. I mean, like, the way you play Endgame now that hook grabs aren't in the game, it's just very different. You kind of just try to salvage kills. You used to be able to, like, go for leverage, not the perk, and, like, hook somebody who wasn't dead. That way you could force people into a grab situation, but that's, like, not a thing anymore. So realistically, you should just be going for kills. And just forcing trades. Just hook grab's just not a thing anymore. Yeah, she's right there. Please don't exert your dominance. Please don't. Okay, so you got a kill. You should be able to secure at least a 2k if you just force trades with the hook here. As long as you, like, down them, carry them deeper in the map, down them, carry them deeper in the map, you should be fine. Good catch, good job. Okay, Cheryl's left, so you essentially secure a 2k here. Live to see the dawn. You will never pet my dog. He's a cutie pie, and not for you. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in how that first gen pops so quickly. I would like to see the builds for this one. Brand new part. Yep, brand new part. That explains it. Yep. Oh. Gotta see those. One of those every single game now because stated DBDs. Wonderful. All right. So, in terms of your main takeaways, I think fortunately your main takeaways are fairly clear, which is good. It means it's very easy to diagnose and very easy for you to get started working on. First off, despite playing Wesker, who is a top 10 character, has an incredibly good M2, an incredibly good power, you don't really use it that much in Chase. You kind of used his power mostly as a map traversal tool, which it can be good for, but you really weren't using it in Chase, and the whole point of powers, for the most part, is to circumvent chases and make them faster. So you were essentially playing 115 man with knife, just with a map traversal tool, which is severely underutilizing Wesker's full potential. So I would practice using his power in Chase. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. Your second takeaway is that you brought Bamboozle, which is a very, very, very good anti-chase perk. Probably one of the best anti-chase perks in the game, depending on what you count as an anti-chase perk. But you don't really use it. There were plenty of times you could have shut down a window and ended the chase much quicker, but you just don't. You really liked using it that like short long wall. Short long wall, that's an oxymoron. That short vault wall that the Cheryl kept going to on the left side of the map. But like other than that, you didn't really like shutting down windows, even though you had bamboozle. I don't know if you were like forgetting that you had it, but like so many of your choices so many of your chases could have been way shorter if you had just shut down the window early with bamboozle. Also, I want to point this out because I don't know if you just weren't aware or what, but you can shut down windows with Wesker's power with bamboozle. You just don't get the extra speed. That's what they took out. If that's what your thought process was, the only thing they took away was the speed synergy. That way you couldn't like vault with Legion, vault with Wesker super quickly with bamboozle. Vaulting with them still shuts down the window. So yeah, you should still do that. Yeah, either don't bring the perk anymore or just remember to get value out of it. Because you could have just had a better perk slot here. Like maybe a second slowdown or something if you're just not going to end up using the perk. I think that's kind of like the main two. Like, honestly, like, you knew how to deliver pop. You had good macro knowledge of where to deliver the pop. You had good macro knowledge of where people were on the map. It really just did come down to your chases being kind of long because you weren't using your power to make it shorter. And also you weren't using your anti-chase perk. So, yeah, it was basically boiled down to those two. Those are like the main reasons. Even then, you still got a 2K. You still did fairly well. But that was what would have clutched the victory with those two things.